We got turtles, we got catfish. We got everything. Just waiting for people to get on. Lewis Smith Lake. Lewis Smith Lake, that's where we're at. We're about to feed some fish, some turtles. Might even feed this mongrel right here. So yeah, we're on Lewis Smith Lake. We're in Alabama. This is what we're looking at. We're gonna feed some channel catfish. Channel catfish. And some turtles. Whether we want to feed the turtles or not, they will get fed. So what we're looking at. So I'm gonna throw some food out there. There's my brim. I hand feed these brim. We had a snake right in there last night when I was doing the live. When I first walked down here to do the live, he slithered in there. Never saw him again. We messed around with some fish, had a spotted bass go in here. Yada, yada, yada. I stood, that was actually underwater yesterday, but I stood right there to try and see what was going on with that fish. Came back over here and the snake popped its head back out a little while later, so I'm hoping that the snake is not underneath this rock right here today, because I want to hand feed these fish. Couldn't do it yesterday, I was too scared. I don't like snakes. We don't see many snakes, but we're gonna see what happens. See, the turtles will not let me feed the fish by hand because they'll come up here. And I'm not gonna stick my hand too far down there. We got a spotted bass that comes in here and hits at these. He's a small little turtle. Oh, there's Mr. Man right there. He is not scared. So if you look at his claws, don't take all my bread. So there's a little one right there. We got about 25 turtles at the most I've ever seen. We won't have that many today. But anyway, so I'm just afraid there might be a snake under here. There was yesterday. And now that when I hand feed them and these brim are coming up, it's attracted this spotted bass. And look at him crawling on top of them. And this spotted bass is actually hitting at these brim. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on. You got the turtle, a turtle. I don't want to feed the turtles. I don't want to get bit by a turtle. I'll let him have that. How about that? So we're now covered up with turtles. But what we're going to do is feed these channel catfish. There's the bass. There he is. That's that spotted bass. He's a good size. I don't know, 3 pounds? I don't know. What do y'all think? Billy Hall, thank you for the follow. So that spotted bass, he is going, he's right there. Let me see if y'all can see him. Right in the middle of y'all's screen. Got a little bit of a glare. See if I can follow him. 2 of them. Look at those bass. Those are decent size. So those are the 2 fish. One of them, well, it might be both of them, but at least one at a time, are hitting at my brim when I feed them. So when I hand feed them, they're coming in and hitting, splashing at them, whatever. We got the videos that happens when we do the lives. So now that I'm trying to feed them, I can't do it because of the bass coming in here. And then when I try and hand feed that, and we got 3 or 4 catfish that might come in here and feed, I can hand feed, the turtles won't let me do it. So how about that? All right, so this is what we're gonna do. Show y'all real quick. We're in central Alabama, Lewis Smith Lake, 500 to 600 miles of shoreline, almost 22,000 acres worth of water. We're gonna throw some catfish pellets out. This is what we got. Look at all this junk. Towards the end of the video, I've got corn, marshmallows, cinnamon oat crunch. We're gonna see what they do. I know they eat corn. We didn't finish the corn last night because it was raining on me for like the last 15 minutes of the video. Been meaning to do marshmallows, I keep forgetting. Somebody reminded me last night. I wrote a note down in my phone and I got them today. But these are catfish pellets. This is what it looks like. That's what it comes in, 40-pound bag. You get them at Real King, Tractor Supply, all that stuff, about $22, a little over $22. This kind right here is from the co-op. It's a 50-pound bag. You get it right at like 20 bucks. So how about that? That was left over from last night. It's what I had soaking. And I took it in we got a first room, kind of like a foyer in our house, and I left this food in there, and you talk about it had so many flies on it. This right here is nasty. It's gonna be nothing but clay, so I might not even throw it out when I'm doing the live. I might wait till afterwards, because it's gonna end up clouding up the water, and it's gonna be a jumbled up mess. But we're gonna start with this mug right here. So when I first throw it out, and I'm just gonna keep looking right there because we had the snake there last night, so I'm gonna keep talking about it, and I'm gonna keep my eyes open. So it'll take a minute for these catfish to come up, probably, you know, a minute or two to start hitting on top water. But we're gonna throw some right here. And it didn't take long. Once one or two comes up, then they'll all start coming up. But you'll see how big that one right there is? You got, you know, smaller ones. John, thank you for the follow. Hey, if I miss any of the follows, any comments or questions, I'll kind of try and go back and see what I missed. But sometimes when I get involved in this right here, trying to feed them real quick and looking around and talking with y'all, I lose track of following. So I'll try and isolate some of these catfish here in a minute so y'all can see how they feed by themselves when they stay up on top water and just suck down the food. It's hard when you throw it in one spot and you have, you know, 60, 70 catfish come up all at one time. They just kind of pile over each other. And let me introduce you to one other partner I have. That's Winston. Say, hey, Winston, are you hungry? He is our quality control specialist. He monitors the food for me. Okay. So as you can see, the turtles, they eat our food also. These turtles are protected in the state of Alabama, so I can't do anything about them. I wish I could run them off, but I can't. All right, so let's throw some more food out. And all this is just hard pellets. So if I just drop them right here under me, excuse me, you can see they just pile in. Turtles aren't scared of catfish. Catfish aren't scared of the turtles. So all you see is just dark spots. And you get splashed by these fish. I'll get splashed probably 10 times this evening while we do the video. But all these are channel catfish. Let's see if one of them will stay up on top. I'll eventually get a few up on top. I want you to look at the turtle's claws. I want you to look at these daggers. If he'll get over here, they are like an inch, inch and a half long, I promise you. Seems like anyway. If I can get them out of the glare, y'all should be able to start seeing them. They have got some long, looks like needles. So I'm not all about that. So that's another thing. So when I hand feed them right here, I have to watch. I have to just keep an eye out because the turtles will come in hot and heavy. Sometimes they don't come in real quick, so I got time to feed the brim. But when they do come in, I've got to make sure I don't get scratched or bit. All right, so I'm gonna throw some food right here, since that's kind of a good spot for y'all to see. Let me see what anybody's asked anything. Dun, dun. Where y'all from? Where y'all watch from? Yeah, this is clear water. It hardly ever gets muddy. We have to have a heavy, heavy rain, and then just the water coming out off the creeks all over the lake cause it to get muddy. You see these fish, that's shallow right there. And you actually see they kind of they put their neck or their chin up there actually on the side of the rocks to try and get the food that's on the very, so they come up right real close. If it's not a whole lot of waves coming in and all that, if the water's real good, they'll get up close to the bank. What kind of snake was it? As far as I can tell, Justin, it was just a water snake. We very seldom see snakes down here, very seldom. And we've only seen one. I was trying to see what's going on. I heard something. We've only seen one copperhead on the property the whole time I've lived out here, and it actually bit my wife. So July 4th was the 6-year anniversary of her getting bit by a copperhead. So all these snake stories I have, and I'm telling you that we very rarely see a snake. Seems like we see a lot, but we don't. Yeah, the water's clear. As you can see, it's so clear you can see the cinder blocks from my retaining wall, because we do have waves, and over the years it just, you know, just destroys these retaining walls. Little Country, thank you for the follow. I'm trying to go back and catch up. Golden Dragon loves turtles. You know, they're just aggravating. I always say I hate them and everything, but I don't really hate them, but they are aggravating. Just because we have so many. I'll kind of give y'all an idea real quick. If you look, see, we just have turtle heads. There's another one. We go over here, there's two. You go way out there, you can see that and barely. So you can come down here, and if you do a quick head count, you might have 16, and then might have like 5 in here. So I mean, any given time, you might have 20 altogether, but I have seen as many as 25. But as for the ones that come in, we normally might at the most have 5, maybe 6. But a lot of times just 2 or 3. All right, I'm gonna throw some more right here. So they just follow the pellets. They're just wandering around. So I just got out of church. So I talked about it last night on the live. If I could get out of church on time and get here and have everything kind of set up beforehand, I would try and do a video. So that's what we did. I got here just enough time that maybe we can do a 30-minute video. So when I come down here, this is what they're doing. They just wander back and forth, waiting for food. So I'll tell you the story here in a minute of how long I've been feeding them and why we have so many and all that. Put the old muddy food on the side away from the camera so the turtles can go to. I said, I can do that. I'll do that here in just a minute. What lake are you at? Crisco, we're on Lewis Smith Lake. We just call it Smith Lake, us locals, but it's Lewis Smith Lake. We're in central Alabama, kind of between Birmingham and Huntsville. We're about, let's see, 40, 45 miles northwest of Birmingham. These are channel cats. Thank y'all for the follow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I think I've answered everything. Crazy amount of fish. Justin, you are correct. All right, so just real quick, I'll show y'all these are all the pellets. I used to have like a big container. I just bring the food down in. I don't know, it just seems like even though I have to make a couple of trips down here, it's easier for me. I can kind of maintain, once I throw one cupful out there, I can kind of pace myself better. But that's what the food comes in. Co-op right there, that's a 50-pound bag. That's a 40-pound bag. 40-pound bag, of course, is more expensive because you have to buy it at Tractor Supply. 50-pound bag's a couple of dollars cheaper. But then there's Winston. He's the protector of the food. He's watching it. I have to watch him too, though. So, like I said, we're gonna do some marshmallows. We're gonna throw some corn out. We're gonna throw some Cinnamon Oat Crunch here shortly. I'm gonna throw some more food out because I know y'all want to see them feed. But I just have to pace myself because if not, we'll throw out a lot of food real quick. They'll eat it all and won't make much of a video. It'd be a 5-minute video and that's it. Crisco, thank you for the follow. Roll Tide. I heard that. I'm an Auburn fan though, can you believe it? I can be in Tuscaloosa in 1 hour and 20 minutes. See if I can show you how they feed. So they come up to the top until that happens. I'm trying to find, let me see if I can find one. Let me throw a little bit right here. That's a big boy right there. All right, if he'll stay up top. They'll just stay up top. Looks like I'm not gonna be able to find one right this second, but they will stay up top if they're kind of separate from the others, and they'll just feel around with their whiskers and suck in all the food they come in contact with. But when you have this many right here, they kind of, when they start hitting each other, any of the fish that are on top water, and if one of them gets bumped and he splashes, all the other fish that are on top water that are eating, they splash too. I mean, it's got to be some kind of vibration thing that happens. But I'll show you one other thing here in just a second while I think about it. But yeah, Tim, are you from Alabama or are you just an Alabama fan? If I missed y'all that's followed, thank you for the follows. I really do appreciate it. But we do this every evening. I feed them every evening. Not necessarily do videos. We're getting to where we're doing a video every day, but if we don't even do a video, I still feed them. Los Angeles, we are miles apart. Is that Toy the Peacemaker? Am I saying that right? I'm terrible with names. So you're in Tuscaloosa. Awesome. That's cool. I used to kind of sort of work in Tuscaloosa. Kind of sort of. For me not to be an Alabama fan, the job that I had was on game day. Well, we'd have to set up on the quad, and I'd have to help entertain customers. We'd give them tickets and stuff like that. So yeah, I had my fill. I've been to more Alabama games than I have Auburn games, and that's kind of funny for me being an Auburn fan. Delaware. Hello, Delaware. South Carolina. Have a lot of South Carolina. How's Moose? How are you doing tonight? So Eddie's from Delaware. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for the follows. All right, so I'm almost done with this one. Y'all can't see that, but I'm gonna throw it out there anyway. Let's pile a little bit right here. Go Dogs. Brandon must be a Georgia fan. I got many a friend that's a Georgia fan. They are from out of state, of course. They're from Georgia, and when they moved right here close to where I am and I became friends with them is when Georgia really began to dominate, and Auburn became, well, you know, Auburn's kind of hit and miss anyway, but Auburn really started to struggle, so I blame them for that. Idaho. The Copper King. What's the weather like in Idaho? Kevin's a Auburn fan. If you've never seen the eagle fly at Auburn, you need to put it on your bucket list. It's pretty amazing. That was a heck of a splash. All right, so let's throw some more out there. Look, I get to where I start talking, but I'm still trying to pace myself so I don't throw this food out all at once. So we're gonna throw some right here. Look, before I do that, let me show you. I've got a polarized lens that I put on my phone. So I'm gonna take it off and let's see if we can tell the difference. Okay, can y'all tell the difference? So if I was doing videos right now, it'd really be hard. I'd have to just maintain like one little area so y'all could see. I'm gonna put it back on. So it definitely makes a difference. Yeah, Brandon said, yeah, big difference. It does. I mean, a lot of evenings, when we started this in the fall of last year, there were some evenings that I wouldn't do the video because there was too much of a glare on the water. I'm like, I'm not gonna waste y'all's time watching a video when, you know, you can't even make out what it is. And then so I'd even get my Costa sunglasses and I'd put the sunglasses in front of the camera on my phone, and I was like, man, this is perfect, but you know, I can't do this and do a video. But anyway, so I got smart and finally got some polarized lenses and tried them, and it worked out. So let's see if we can get big boy right here to come up and let y'all see how he feeds. Apparently not. So see, they're just fighting all this food that's come up right here up against the bank. See, they're just rubbing up against that rock right there with their chin, and they're just trying to they just want the food. Just want the food. Amber, thank you for the follow. Let me zoom back out. But Lewis Smith Lake, Central Alabama. Wonder how long it would take for them to eat a body if you chopped it up and fed it to them. Now, when you say body, David, what kind of body are you talking about? Be a little bit more specific, because I might be getting worried about you here in just a second. Of course, catfish are bottom feeders. Catfish eat trash. They eat pretty much anything. But all this food right here, these pellets, it's pretty much pure protein. It's good for them. That's all I feed them now. I used to feed them dog food. Started feeding them over 25 years ago off our boat dock. And I'd use this thing right here. I don't know if y'all know what this is. Y'all throw out some guesses before I tell y'all. So I'd feed some brim. I use dog food. I let it soak. So when you let the dog food soak, it gets soft. So I throw it in there. that's what made it, you know, easy for the fish to eat. Have a couple of carp come up. Eventually had a couple of catfish come up, and then like next year I had 5 catfish, and the next year I had 10 catfish, until now you see what we got. In the fall we'll have more. We'll probably have double this amount of catfish in the fall. And they're more aggressive in the fall. It's been a while, it's busy. He's on here every night. Joseph, hello. Let me go back. John, these are channel catfish. We do have 2 bass in here, 2 spotted bass, that when we first did the video, I need to start looking for them. They were hanging out right there. When I feed the brim, right over here, I hand feed the brim, right here, you can see a few of them right there. We've been doing 2 lives, and a bass has come by and hit at them. And it scared me to death. And of course, it spooks all these brim too, and they swim off. So last night when we were doing the live, all we saw was a big tail sticking out right there, because that's a hole, right where that catfish is. He was doing kind of like that, but you saw a tail, and it ended up as one of those spotted bass. Apparently he'd had some of these brim in there, you know, trapped, and he's just waiting on them to make the next move. But anyway, so we do have them roaming around, and I can't really feed them by hand right now because of the turtles. The turtles come up too close, and I'm afraid I'm gonna get bit. Plus last night, and there's the snake. The snake is back. The snake is right underneath that block right there. You see him? Y'all tell me what kind of snake that is. Same snake from last night. Is that a water snake? I'm zoomed in as best I can. Thank you for the follow. Amanda's on here cussing again. That's my wife. She's the one that got bit by a copperhead. She's the one that comes down here. We kayak and everything like that, so now I'll probably never get her back down here again. I'm gonna see if I can stand up right here and get a better image. What is that? Can y'all tell me what that is? Eastern water snake. Are you sure? I don't think that's a rat snake. Water moccasin. See, now y'all are going across. I mean, I need a for sure. I did bring a stick, and I do have a little pew pew, as my wife would say, on my side. So, but I'm not gonna use it, of course. All right, we're gonna get back to feeding the fish, but I'm gonna have to watch out. All right. So we've gone through another cup, so there's 2. Let's do this one. We're still gonna get to the marshmallows. We tried a banana the other night. We're trying something different every night just to have a little bit of fun. We do it at the very end. Now here's all the little brim. We've got some decent size, not many that'll come out, but they wanna be fed this bread, and I just won't stick my hand down there now. But yeah, so a banana. We found out that catfish will not eat bananas. So see, there's the rest of the little brim coming in. Country Bandits Outdoors, the biggest fish that we have in here as it pertains to a catfish now is we got a fish. My goodness, you see him take off? He jumped like a rocket. We call him Flathead Fred, and we feed in the fall when I start feeding them. All this right now that you're looking at, this will be dry ground, okay? So it's 3 or 4 foot deep right here. Matter of fact, the water has dropped, I don't know, about an inch and a half since yesterday. So in the fall, the water will be down about 10 feet. And I'll actually feed them over there. Of course, I'll be down. It's a little rocky ledge I feed them on. There's a sandy bottom over there. It'll be 12 inches, maybe 18 inches. I feed these fish on it. And check out the 3rd pin video I have on this account, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's crazy how aggressive they are. Anyway, that's where Flathead Fred hangs out. Flathead Fred is the big flathead that has come in there, and he's probably 25 pounds, maybe 30 pounds, it's hard to tell. We've got a bunch of videos of him too, but he would come in, and like I said, it's not right here, but I'm gonna use this as an example. He would come, you'd see him come in, and he'd just lay down. And that's all he'd do. Every once in a while he'd get up, and so after a week or two, he finally would get up and kind of roam around, and then one day, he just hit like lightning, hit one of these channel catfish broadside, got him in his mouth, and he just slowly wandered off with him. And it was the craziest thing. So he did that 2 times while we were doing the live. So we've got that on video. Those videos are on the page too, so y'all check that out. But bass wise, I mean, like my dad's caught a 5-pounder out here. You know, stripe. I don't remember. I need to go back and look and see what the record size fish on this lake is. But stripe, we have some big old stripe on this lake. But we got largemouth, spotted bass, stripe, brim, crappie, all that good stuff. Blues, flatheads, and channel catfish. So I hope that kind of answers your question. Do all thank you for the follow. Harry, you can come fish. If you can find this spot, you can fish because this is open to the public. This is just a regular lake. It's not a pond. A lot of people think this is a pond, but it's not. It's Lewis Smith Lake and we're in Alabama. Get you a Alabama fishing license and come on. Or, I mean, you don't have to have a license. You're just taking a chance. How about that? Sean, thank you for the follow. Let's see. David, when you said Google it, are you talking about the snake? If it's an eastern banded water snake, I can't send you a photo. Okay. Let's see. There's something. Sam says, so the food doesn't float away and stay in it. You're right. All right, so I never came back. Let me pour some food right here and I'll keep talking. And then I'll kind of try and step back so y'all can see. I'll get right here. So y'all see how dark it is right there? They're just piled in there real close. Like 3 foot of water. All right, so this is a fish ring. You know, someone call it a food ring, whatever. I call it a fish ring. You throw your food in there and it just keeps it from wandering off. Keeps the wind, keeps the waves from taking it off. Now, it'll still jump the side sometimes and that's fine. But with these catfish, when they're jumping around and all that, the food will not stay in there, which is fine. I don't use it half the time anyway because I'm trying to get the best shot for y'all to watch. So, you know, I just throw it out here. They're going to eat it no matter what. So there's no reason for me to throw it in there because if the food just starts wandering way over there, they're gonna take off with it. They'll get it. But yeah, Sam, you're right. That's a great guess because that's like my 3rd most asked thing. First most is what pond I'm at, and it's not a pond, it's a lake. Second one is they always want me to catch one of these fish. And third is what's that contraption in the water. Country Bandits, thank you for the follow. Yeah, if y'all ain't got nothing going on, use that finger. Use that index finger, use that thumb, and follow us. We do appreciate it. So all these are channel catfish. I do like when they do come up sometimes straight up, you'll see the white of their belly. So that's pretty cool. These fish have gotten a little bit more aggressive in the last few days when it comes to like when I first come out here and throw the food. I'm not really getting, you know, able to isolate them so y'all can see how long they'll stay on the top, you know, and feed. So we'll try this. We'll kind of separate them. We'll throw some over there and some right here. And I'll see if you can just see, I mean, they're just right at the top. Not a very good picture quality, but, you know, best I can do under the circumstances. But y'all get it, y'all understand. Yeah, Brandon, you know, back to Flathead Fred, like I said, he's 25 pounds. I'm just guessing. In the wintertime, I splashed last year. I would get in the water with my boots. I can, you know, get 12, 14 inches deep or whatever. And I would splash my hand back and forth. And Flathead Fred came all the way up, you know, within about a foot or two of me and then turned around and went off. So, you know, splashing the water, it definitely attracts him. But he was definitely hungry. Hungry in the fall because he also hit it too. Catfish on different occasions and missed them, but he definitely took down 2 that we have on on video. So yeah, check them out. It's pretty interesting. So it might be about 18 foot deep, right about where my finger's at, and then right there's a cliff that drops straight down. It drops about 30 foot. And then that point right there comes out to about right there. And then out there, I mean, it might be 60 foot deep out towards the middle. The deepest part of the lake is at the dam, and it's between 265 and 285 foot deep. So, Mr. Turtle, I'll give you a few pellets. Oh, I guess he is gonna get him. I was gonna say the catfish is gonna get him. So say they're not scared. So say I'm just right here. I mean, if I could bend down a little bit further, I could touch them. So they're not scared. So me walking up and down, you know, the retaining wall right here, I am just right above them. They're not scared. Now if I'd, you know, jump off in the water right now, yeah, it's a different story. Daniel, thank you for the follow. If I've missed anybody that's following me, I apologize. I always try and, you know, call y'all out. Call y'all out in a good way, because I do. I appreciate it. Now, here's, if you've just joined us, that's our quality assurance specialist right there, Winston. So, Winston, are you hungry? He's a rescue dog. We've had him about 5 years. He's a great dog. Follows me everywhere. All channel catfish, Lewis Smith Lake, Central Alabama. Jolly Rancher, you want Winston? I wouldn't take nothing for Winston. I didn't no kind of money. Jolly, we did. The snake made an appearance right there, kind of laid out on that concrete for a little bit, and everybody got to see him. We're trying to decide what he is. It's anywhere from a water snake to a poisonous snake. So that's pretty broad. So I don't think it's poisonous. I don't think it's a poisonous snake, but I do wish he'd go away. So apparently this is his home. Yeah, our other dog, Coco, which is a little bee thing, she is inside. She didn't want to stay out here. She was ready to go inside. So she's 14 years old, and I understand. If she knows, you know, I guarantee her some food down here, but that didn't even keep her down here today, so, and that's fine. Only good snake is a dead snake. Well, you know, the copperhead that bit my wife, I definitely took care of it, and that was during COVID. It was July 4th of 2020, and so it was a rough experience, let me tell you, because I couldn't go inside the hospital, and there was a little communication breakdown and all that good stuff, but yeah, we made it. She made it. It's all good. I have been to Weiss Lake. I've never fished Weiss Lake. Well, look, buddy, don't you be jumping down and scaring me like that. See, now that I have these bags right here and my back turned to it, I'm so afraid that one of these snakes or that snake will go underneath it. I don't know. I don't know. Thank you for the follow. I don't know, HFSRFHBDS. So David says, no poison if its pupils are round, non-poison pupils, slanted poison. Couldn't tell. Couldn't get close enough. I used to be the one that, like, any snake is going to be a dead snake. Not exactly that way anymore, but I still don't like them. Let me pile a bunch right there and let's see if we can get one or two to stay up on top for y'all. I tell you what, you will not have dry clothes if you stand right here long enough. But yeah, all channel catfish. Some channel catfish have like a green tint, grayish tint. These are just a dark blue. Can be mistaken for blue catfish, but they're not. Junior Baker, thank you for the follow. How did she get bit? David, we were watching fireworks, and I'm gonna grab some more food while I'm talking. So it was July 4th, 2020. We had turned off all the lights on our porch, on the, the outside lights. And let me tell you, the people that own this property right here, I'm not gonna say their name, very wealthy, I guess you could say. They put on a show with fireworks. All down here, fireworks. My neighbor over here, fireworks. So it's just amazing. So I don't have to spend any money on fireworks. I just let everybody else spend their money. Anyway, so we watched the fireworks. It was, we just got done eating. My son had just decided to go inside, so we walked off our deck and went around to the side. He'd been, I don't know, gone inside for a couple minutes. And then we decided we were done. We walked around. She was in front of me, and when she got to the front door, it just so happened that the copperhead had come down our drive right there on the concrete beside the house and was right there at the front door. When she opened it, it bit her on the ankle. And then it proceeded to go inside the house. So it was a heck of an experience. I'll just leave it at that. Oh my goodness. All right, so I just got drenched. That one didn't get me though. But it was it got her on the ankle. One fang got her. They said it was a dry bite, but she's got some nerve issues with that foot, so it was not a dry bite. They apparently when we got her to the hospital, they draw a circle around. Well, I had to take I had to take the snake with me. So I killed the snake, put it in a garbage bag, put it in a tote, put it in the back of the car, took off. They had to examine the snake, make sure it was a copperhead. They drew a circle around her bite, and they said if the redness and swelling goes outside that mark that they made, then she would have to have the antivenom. Well, long story short, after that, we found out that they did not have the antivenom at that hospital, and if it had gone outside, that mark, that they were going to have to transfer her to Birmingham. So if I'd have known all that, I would have been like, I'm taking her with me, and we're just going to Birmingham. So if it's a wasted trip, it's a wasted trip. But that was so ridiculous. So ridiculous. All right, let's see. How long we been doing this? 37 minutes. That's good. What do y'all want to do? Let's do a little thing real quick. Y'all want to throw, I got half a can of corn, I got marshmallows, and I got cinnamon oat crunch. So y'all tell me which one. We're running out of daylight. So I'd say if 10 of y'all will vote, out of those 10, we'll see which one wins. How about that? One for marshmallows. And while we're doing that, we'll tally them up here in a second. I'm going to show you this this lens I have on here, this polarized lens. I'm going to take it off, and you see the difference. Okay, so I bought this just to make these videos better. I'm doing this all for y'all. So just remember that. So give me a follow. How about that? I'm spending money doing this. So y'all can enjoy it. I'm going to do it anyway, but yeah. So I'm going to put the lens back on there. Whoop. See what a difference it makes. All right. So what do we got so far? Marshmallow, corn, crib. What's crib? Marshmallow, corn, Fabio, thank you for the follow. Let's do this. Let's throw a little bit of corn out, and then I'll go with the marshmallows. We'll just do that. That way it's not confusing, and I'm not having to, we don't have to try and y'all wait on me to figure out what we're doing, so. I'm always, wondering if I throw anything out there that, they'll just go crazy over, which they go crazy over the, look how light he is compared to other ones. They go crazy over the catfish pellets, no doubt. And look how big those are. Those are some big old catfish. But the corn, I mean, it's not shocking that they eat it. But I want something that they just go massively crazy over. And You know, it's just normal. Edmund, thank you for the follow. David, you're right about the marshmallows. I'm not going to throw many out there. And since it's not a regular thing that I'll feed them, just like bread, you know, I'll have comments on here. People say, don't feed them bread. It's terrible for them. Yada, yada, yada. I get it. Their diet is not strictly bread. It's not going to be strictly marshmallows. These fish are healthy simply because I'm feeding these catfish pellets. So we're going to act like that's kind of like a dessert when we give them a little bit something different. Garlic, they do like garlic. You know, a lot of people. Tyler hot dogs, you know, when I was at the store today, I had that on my list, and for some reason I forgot them. I remember the marshmallows, though. Let's see, what else? Popcorn. Samantha, I need to try popcorn. Popcorn afloat. And what you'll find out, too, or at least what I find out, is when I go from the floating catfish pellets to stuff that sinks, if I go back to something that floats, it's hard to get the catfish all back up on top. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's hard to get them transition because it's like they go to the bottom. Now they're just going to start searching on the bottom. All right, let's do a couple handfuls of cinnamon oat crunch. Simply because it's getting dark, you see. There's where the sun will set. I was hoping we'd have some wonderful colors tonight. Let's see. The water's a little cloudy, but it's getting dark, so let's just kind of chunk it right here. Threw this out the other night, and for some reason I was thinking that these would float. Of course they don't. It sinks. So they like cinnamon. I haven't ever tried anything that's got a honey flavor, but they say they like honey. But the garlic is what fishermen use, you know, for the scent of garlic on bait, like cut bait and all that kind of stuff, because they like that strong smell. Somebody asked me if you can actually just get regular garlic and throw out there, and I don't know. That might be too strong. But yeah, the hot dogs I'm going to have to try. The marshmallows if I had time today, I was going to try and cut them up into smaller pieces. David, tell me about what can help with a snake bite. Samantha, tomorrow, I'm trying to think what I'm looking at. I like to do these videos at like 5:30, but I have not been able to even start a video close to 5:30 all week. I'll have to get some popcorn. I'll put that on my list, and maybe we can start with popcorn tomorrow. Let's see, what else? I'm just trying to read real quick before I throw anything else there. That's funny, Samantha. What's it to you, Rick? I'm spending money. I'm spending, you know, almost $40 a week on this right here that's healthy for them, and then you're going to question me on if I want to throw a little bit of this other stuff out there. Wah, wah, wah. But if you're following me, thank you for the follow. If not, whatever. So don't tear up when I throw these marshmallows out here. All those years I fed them, you know, dog food that had fake additives and colors and all that stuff. You probably didn't mind that, did you? Probably not. Thank you, Don, for the follow. But I have ate these fish before. But another thing, Rick, you know, you're telling me that the stuff you eat from the store is so much healthier than because I fed these a few marshmallows. Oh my goodness, I'm terrible. I probably won't sleep tonight. I'm just kidding. I'm just playing with you. So, see, these are floating, so who knows if we'll get them back up to eat them anyway. I wasn't going to throw many out there, but, I mean, if they just started tearing them up, I would definitely throw some more out there. Muff Dad, thank you. Yeah, thank you for backing me up. I appreciate that. They're trash fish. They're bottom feeders. My goodness, I am feeding them healthy stuff. None of these fish have such a healthy meal than what I'm feeding them, so. Oh, and one other thing, I'll feed them what I want to feed them. I'll turn this camera off and I'll throw whatever I want to out there. How about that? Please jump on them. You want me to jump on them? No, everybody wants me to feed them. It's getting dark, so it's getting harder for y'all to see. I apologize. I like to have a good picture quality. I like to have enough light and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to throw any more marshmallows out. I have to start with the marshmallows tomorrow to get them interested in it. I'll throw, look, we'll see if they'll come to the top at all. I'll just throw a couple handfuls of catfish pellets back on the top, and I bet you it'll have a hard time getting them back up top. Simply because, like I said, once you get them on the bottom, it's hard to get them back up. Now, you get one or two up there, it kind of, I guess, turns them on and gets them back up top. There's some. Call me a liar. Thank everybody for the follows. I do appreciate it. Their lips will tingle if injected with venom. I got you. Love that. I appreciate it. Yeah, I hope you're following me. I didn't notice if you did or not. Look, it is getting hard to see. I don't want to waste y'all's time. I really don't. I could stay out here and keep feeding them anyway, but y'all can't see. Like I said, we do have 2 spotted bass that are coming in here, and maybe tomorrow they'll make an appearance. We've only seen 1. Tonight's the first time we've seen 2. I'm going to show y'all what I'm looking at. This is Lewis Smith Lake. That's where the sun sets. A lot of evenings, you can see we're getting some color, but it'll shoot that color all the way across the sky. Check out, I've got it's the 10th or 12th video on the page. There's a sunset that you will not believe that we captured out here. It's amazing. You'll call it fake because it looks fake, but it's not. I guarantee you, it's all real. All real. Let's see. Samantha, you are correct. Samantha, in the past videos, I have talked about I keep getting, when I go on TikTok and watch, hold on. There is a dude trying to come in here, and he is really bothering me to death. I keep getting the advertisement all day long when I'm on TikTok of a green light that's got about a 20-foot cord on it, and some of them runs on a battery, like a DeWalt battery, and some of them you plug in or you hook to just a regular size battery. It's a green light, you throw it in there, and I really thought about getting that and starting a video about this time of night and then throw that light down there, or I'm going to have to get the green light out and get them used to it maybe, and then we can see what happens. But I do in the fall when it gets dark on us like here, I get spotlights. I got 2 spotlights, and I'll turn that one that way and I'll shoot one that way. And but that's because we're way down lower in the water, so it just works out, and it's a pretty good picture. So with the green light, see, I'm really not familiar. I'm seeing more boat docks on the lake having green lights on it. So does it really affect the fish that much? I mean, when it's on, does it bother them? Does it just take a little while to get used to them, or it doesn't bother them at all? That's my question. I have not researched anything. We end up asking all these questions about stuff, and I could very easily Google it or chat GPT and all that stuff. But yeah, I don't know. They need to get used to it. Okay, I will keep that in mind. Hey, I will look into it. I've been thinking about it. It just depends. Buying this lens, polarized lens, and then spending all this money on food and all this stuff, it'd just be another cost. But that's okay. So the bread, I'm gonna have to just back off on the bread because I'm just not used to, or I'm not gonna get used to a snake hanging out under there and me just putting my hand down in the water. So I'm not gonna do it. All right, I'm gonna go. Is there any other questions? They smell sense off of after a while, it goes away. That makes sense. Okay, so I think what I could do is, if I get the light, is I could maybe put it in somewhere more towards the corner and just slowly move it in night after night because I don't want to completely mess up the videos, all at once. Just like everybody that's wanting me to catch one of these fish for the videos, it's nothing. You get that right there, you make your bread ball, put it on the hook, throw it out there, you won't even count to 3 and you catch a catfish. Well, that's fine and dandy, and it's great, for everybody to watch, but it puts stress on these fish. Half of them, 2/3 will swim off. The majority of them will probably come back within about 5 minutes, but if I did that every day, right there, these numbers are going to go down, and they'd finally just be like, it ain't worth coming up here with everything that's going on. Might get caught. All right, we can't see nothing in the water anymore. I got to pick all this stuff up. Just a reminder, that's what we use. It's the catfish pellets, okay? But I do appreciate y'all watching. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Hit that follow if you hadn't. I appreciate that too. If you don't, that's fine too. No obligation. Do this every night for the most part. But y'all have a wonderful evening. Just remember, we're all blessed. It doesn't matter what situation you're in, how bad things are. There's always a good side to look at, and we're all blessed. But y'all have a good evening. We will see you tomorrow night.